gotta talk about the Cleveland Browns. Gotta talk about the Cleveland Browns and Kevin Stefanski and Todd Monken and Shador Sanders. You know me, I'm gonna give it to you with some real insight. So I'm gonna show you guys the video. Pull up the video. Uh, I thought this was a really cool video. It was organic, you know. So let me pull it up real quick. So let's pull up this video here.
Where I'm going in at?
Oh yeah.
Hey, hello, young man. What's up? Good to see you, bro. How you doing? Welcome back to the States.
How we doing, man?
Good.
Yeah, we tried to draft your ass last year. It's all worked out.
Yeah.
You remember that, right?
Yeah, that's what I was about to tell you.
Someday we'll get a chance to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, sit down.
Let's talk about this part real quick here. So this don't tell you everything you need to know. Why Kevin Stefanski got fired, or whether you like Kevin Stefanski or not. That is not what we're talking about. But I just want to show you the logistics of how this thing works. If you go check back on my page when I did the video, when I told you guys that the split was coming before anybody else saw the split, I told you the split was coming between Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry. This is it right here. The Browns think they slick. Y'all good. Y'all good. Now, for that to be put out, that piece to be put out, and like I said, I believe it's an organic piece. But the Browns had a plan. The Browns, this tells you how it was split. Andrew Berry wanted Shador Sanders. He wanted Shador Sanders. And him and Kevin Stefanski went to war. And you could tell in that video that we saw back some months ago at that draft, those guys went to war on who they wanted as the quarterback. Now remember, these guys was a package when they came in. Kevin Stefanski actually got hired before Andrew Berry. Kevin Stefanski, the one that actually brought Andrew Berry in to be his GM. This is crazy, right? Business is cutthroat, right? But you could tell that they both had a plan and they had differences of opinions. I'm going to tell you why all of this is coming up now. So the Browns, so this is the reason why they hired Monken, right? The Browns, whatever they thought about in the middle of the season, once Shador got his chance to start, they said this is going to be our guy going forward. I had already said that, but you know, people go talk and they go say whatever. But I said once they put him in, and they was not sold on any of these quarterbacks, especially when they did not land in that 1 to 2 range, they said this was going to be their guy. I think they had already thought this was going to be their guy. Period. He's going to sell tickets. He going to be a face. Whether he's good or bad, we going to sell more jerseys and we going to get more press than any other NFL team. Who is the highest covered team this year? It was the Browns. The Browns won 5 games. Once Shador Sanders came in, they became one of the most covered teams, right? And he got some intangibles, and he got some things that at least give you the illusion of him being able to be a starting quarterback with the right things around him and everything else. Okay, great. But it's the persona. He got all of those things that that people like. He has a tribalistic fan base. Whether you like it or not, that's what he has, right? So Jimmy was already saying, Jimmy Haslam, the owner, was already saying, this is going to be our guy going into 2026. And hopefully going forward and going into this new stadium that they are building in the next couple of years. So imagine if you have Shedeur Sanders, who's become like this, I don't know, this microwave sports cult figure in a matter of 2 years, and you're going into this brand new playpen that they got coming that looks amazing, by the way. And you got your quote unquote franchise quarterback. You possibly will still have Myles Garrett. You got the Harold Fannings. You get him a receiver. One of these guys that's on the board. You got the Carnell Taste and Malachi Lemons. You got the Tyson kid. It's a lot of pretty good receivers out here, right? So if you put everything around them, and let's just say the Browns they won 5 games last year. They make 7 games, but they're exciting. Oh, that is going to be a big deal. So you can tell where the whole thing happened, where Kevin Stefanski versus Andrew Berry and the rest of the organization happened. Here's why I say this. The Browns, This I'm going to tell you how Kevin Stefanski, whether, like I said, hear what I'm saying, people, whether you like Kevin Stefanski or not, I don't care about that. That's not even what I'm talking about. But what I am saying is this is going to prove that Kevin Stefanski did not own his own position as a head coach for the Browns. I'm about to explain how. Kevin Stefanski made a few hires since he's taking the Atlanta Falcons job. Would you like to know what his hires are? Let me help you real quick. So I got my phone right here. I got to figure out how to put all of this into the system so it'll pop up. But I'm going to do it this way. The quarterback's coach is Alex Van Pelt. The same Alex Van Pelt that got fired from the Browns for Deshaun Watson. He was looked at as the offensive coordinator. They made, Kevin Stefanski fired Alex Van Pelt. All to go get Alex Van Pelt back in Atlanta? Who else is on the staff? Tommy Rees, right? Got Tommy Rees. Who's the offensive line coach? Bill Callahan. Also was with the Browns. So I find it weird that everybody that Kevin Stefanski supposedly fired, he got, who else he got? He got Tanner Engelstrand, who was also with the Browns. So all these guys that he fired, quote unquote, are all a part of his staff in Atlanta. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. But they were said to be Kevin Stefanski's choice to let these guys go, like the Alex Van Pelt, who went on to, I think, help what? Did he go help Drake May the year before, or the first year, or second year, or something like that? His first year? Bill Callahan. I know Bill Callahan got let go because of he's with his son in Tennessee and it just didn't work out. Okay, I get all of that. But everybody that Kevin Stefanski had on his coaching staff before, he has back again. Make it make sense. We ain't gonna act like it don't make sense. We gonna tell the truth. This is why the Browns are always in disarray. Because people don't play their positions. Like I said, this ain't about liking Kevin Stefanski or not liking Kevin Stefanski. I can care either way. I'm just going to call it like I see it. You took the man, you clipped him, you clipped his wings. I'm going to say the very PG version of it. You clipped his wings and you expected him to be effective. How you going to be effective if you took everything away from him? So the power struggle was real. Period. The guy up top does not listen to anybody. And he trusts Andrew Berry enough to keep him on, and that's who's going to make the decisions going forward. It's just what it is. But if you don't believe that it wasn't a power struggle between Kevin Stefanski, Andrew Berry, and Jimmy Haslam, I got a bridge to sell you. Because that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. And their coaching process, now we go talk about the Browns coaching process because this all comes together. Todd Monken was not their first choice. But he was the choice that they agreed to. Here's why I say this. The Browns said that they wanted innovative, young, and up-and-coming guys. That was literally what they said. Jimmy Haslam said it out of his mouth. Until those guys came in and had the interviews and had to do whatever essays they had to do. And I guarantee you, the number one question was, so what can you do with Shedeur Sanders? And they gave whatever read that they gave on that. And if it wasn't the read that they wanted, those guys didn't want the job. You're not going to tell me Grant Udisky, a guy who's going from an offensive coordinator, young guy, it's only 32 of these jobs in the league, said, nah, no thanks. I don't want this. Because you know when you become the Cleveland Browns head coach, you're going to get a mulligan. You know there's always something crazy going on over there. But for him to turn it down, what about Nate Shieldhouse? They went all the way out to L.A. Now, why would you go all the way out to L.A. to do an interview with Shieldhouse, all to not sign him? I know why. Because they said either you go sign off on Shedeur being your guy, or we're not going to, we don't want you. I could be totally wrong, but this is how I'm reading it. You don't bring Todd Monken in last minute. Todd Monken was pretty much on his way to being the Giants' offensive coordinator. They brought Todd Monken in last minute. And it's just so happened to work out because Todd Monken wanted, as the video just showed, Todd Monken wanted Shedeur in Baltimore. But how the story goes is Shedeur didn't want to go to Baltimore because he felt like he'll never get a shot. Now everything comes full circle. Todd Monken is in Cleveland, and he got the quarterback that he liked is Shedeur Sanders. So, as dysfunctional as the Browns have been and always will be if they keep going the way they're going, they actually got a match made in heaven because Shedeur finally has a head coach that wants him in the NFL, that works out perfectly in the system that Jimmy Haslam wanted, that Andrew Berry wanted. That was their guy, Shedeur Sanders, that was sitting there And now they found a quarterback, a head coach that wants him as the quarterback. So now we know for sure. If you didn't know, now you know. Kevin Stefanski, that was not his pick, and he tried to make the best out of it. Whether, again, like I said, whether you agree with him or not, your head coach should be the guy who picks the guy that they want, and let him go down with the ship or whatever the case may be. But they had other plans. Here's what I say to that: it's too many pots, too many chefs in the kitchen in Cleveland. This is why they can't get nothing done. And I hope that they really trip and fail into a situation that actually works for a change. And it seems like this could work. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. But obviously, Shedeur is comfortable with Todd, and Monken loves Shedeur coming into the draft at the spot they was trying to get him at. So we'll see what the Browns do with that. I just wanted to put some context on it, on that whole Cleveland Browns and Atlanta Falcons situation with Stefanski and Barry and Haslam. They was on the same page till they wasn't. And the head coach just didn't have no say. That's just